Hi everyone, I am Victor Idoko, financial planner and founder of CFV Services. Today I will be talking a little bit about myself and how CFV started. So it all started with my mom and dad, obviously. So I was born to a teacher and I was born to a soldier, and this was back in Nigeria. So you can imagine straight off the back of things, I was born into a world full of discipline and sequence, which was amazing actually. So I enjoyed having lots of directions and guidance as to what should be done, what shouldn't be done. I also grew up in a family of three other siblings. So shout out to my brother. He really taught me a lot. And part of that was always just taking responsibility. My older sister, who is the fashionista in the family, and she taught us to always dress properly and clean. And to my younger sister as well, who's the free spirit. So shout out to all of them. I really love and care for them a lot. So early on as well, I went to boarding school. So my boarding school was filled with a lot more sequence as well. You have to do certain things at certain times. There was little to no free time on days for you. Usually during weekends, you might get some free time, and that was very impactful in my life as well because of that. We got to really understand how you get a lot done by just having some guidance around timeframes. Shout out to BHS as well, which was the high school then. So it was really the formative 6 years of my life, and I enjoyed my time there. Made lots of friends that were still friends, and we still bounced lots of ideas and they help with just life in general. I then moved to Perth about 16 years ago, and then in Perth I moved because it was time to study, time to start my university degree. So I studied accounting, economics, which are good foundations as well for what I do actually. So from the accounting world, really learned about balance sheets and how I can read them, how I can understand them. The economics world was very interesting as well, understanding macro policies, micro policies, and how they actually play into situations. So that has really helped in just understanding things like what the RBA is saying and how that affects people, and what people should actually focus on. So that was amazing as well. So in Perth, I did my undergrad, which was economics accounting, and then I did the masters as well. Masters was in finance and investments, which I truly loved. I was already investing before then, but I was definitely doing it the wrong way. And thanks to further studies, I really got to understand a lot as to the investment world and why it's important to follow certain sequences or just analyze things in different ways. So uni days were really amazing as well. I stayed in a uni college, and it was just great meeting people, having a great social life, and focusing on my hobbies. One of them was basketball, which I got to play a lot, and so that was a really interesting time in my life as well. And pretty much what happened after my masters, or rather during my masters, I started working in a bank as well, Suncorp Bank, and I really wanted to do something that had to do with investments. I really wanted to get into that space, and I ended up speaking to a financial planner back then, and he explained what they do and how they help clients and how is not just about protection or insurance, but about investments as well. So that was pretty interesting. I was like, well, I'll give it a go. Financial planning jobs were paying more than my salary at the point in time. So I was like, look, it's definitely worth a try. So I had to do a diploma in financial planning back then, which was good. So it gave me a little bit of an understanding as to the basics with financial planning. So I did my diploma, and then I got in. I was accepted on a job I applied for with Commonwealth Bank. So that was a great stepping stone. I really loved my manager back then. I think he made financial planning and just understanding everything really easy, as well as colleagues as well back then. So lots of us are still friends. And so after I did my diploma, I was already studying for something called the CFA. So many people may not know what that is, but that's actually one of the hardest qualifications in the finance world to do. So I'd started my studies then. I think 2025 was really an intense year. I think I took on a lot, but look, happy I did because I just stretched myself and I was able to grow. So I was finishing up my masters. I was doing my diploma in financial planning, and I was studying for the first level of CFA, which was full on. So, but as I said, I enjoyed it because I gained a lot of knowledge and really learned how to manage things. Fast forward a few years, CFA was done. Not without the struggles though. So when I passed the first level, it was a lot. It was fairly easy for myself, as I would say, because I'd done all those degrees and everything before. Second level was tough. So I failed that. I remember the day I failed, I was actually very, very heartbroken because I'd put in lots of effort into studying for the second level. But look, it is what it is. And I remember calling my dad back then and just explaining that I hadn't passed, and I was thinking if I should do it again. And he was heartbroken. I don't think I'd seen him that heartbroken as well, because he was one of the people that kind of knew how hard I studied, because he would check up on me lots of times, and each time I was like, "Hey, I'm studying. Oh, I'm in the library. Oh, I'm this and that." So he was heartbroken, and then actually burst into tears because he was heartbroken. I felt like I disappointed him, and he was really concerned that I was crying. But I was like, no, no, it's not that. It's just what it is. One of the few times where I really felt an emotional connection with with my dad, which was good. However, well, and that was one of the times I'd actually failed any exam. So I think I was spoilt with passing and spoilt with just doing well in academics. So, however, it did teach me that look, you cannot really be the best at everything, and in terms of that, it just means that you understand the topics, the concepts better, and I should study a lot more. So I decided to do it, and I was like, well, I will keep going until I pass. I'm not gonna go out as a failure on this one. And so yeah, pretty much finished the whole CFA program, and became a chartered financial analyst as of 2022, which was amazing. It was a great feeling. Um, One of the huge things about the CFA program that I like is it encourages you, or rather, you have to do professional learnings every year. So you have to do about 20 hours of learnings, which is amazing because if you think about degrees or masters, you don't really need to keep up with anything. You do it and that's it. So this was really good because I genuinely like learning, and key major topics in there that really helped me in my current job right now is portfolio management and wealth planning. Okay. So the four topics there that I really liked. One is behavioral finance. So really understanding how me, myself as the advisor, or how clients behave in certain situations. Are they emotional drivers? Are they cognitive drivers? How can we actually mitigate or um, fully eliminate those biases? So that has been really good for my job. We also talked about private wealth management. Okay, so what are those complex strategies we can actually put in place to help people in the private wealth situation? How should we balance the portfolios? How should we invest for them? All that has been really important and amazing for me as well. And then we had institutional portfolio management and risk management applications. So I think risk management is a very underrated thing that people do not look at. As an advisor, we see both ends. People that don't want to do it and people that then need it versus those that get it and need it. So we see all that, which is a little bit confronting as to how that can derail wealth creation and how that can derail pretty much just everything in life. Okay, so when I then think about work and how that has impacted my life as well. So as I said, I've always been feeling very disciplined in terms of getting things done and focusing on work. So my 5 years in Commonwealth Bank were amazing. That was one of the times where the industry was going through lots of change. So actually, since I've been in financial planning, there's been lots of change, which is just under 10 years. And what that has taught me as well is that look, nothing is going to be uh, go perfectly the way you want it. And, I should always apply the same thing when I'm helping clients with advice. Yes, we have goals. Yes, we have things we want to work on, but it may not go perfectly, and that's fine. You just pivot and move and make the best decision you can at that point in time. So 5 years in CBA, 2 years in Sun Couple, amazing, and I've been running my business CFV services for just over 3 years now, which has been good. So in terms of how CFV actually started, it was a funny story because I actually fell into running the business. If you asked me this question about 5 years ago, would I be running a business? I would have said no, I wouldn't be running a business. I probably have a part-time job or part-time business that I ran, but not full-time. But all the change and everything going on in the industry just led me to, wanting to take a little bit more control and take the job that I like and do what I want with that, So be able to help clients, also be able to manage and train people who can help clients just the way I want that, because we have a high level of service that we give our clients. So fast forward, after making the decision to quit my job and move on to CFV services, I remember the day I was going to hand in my laptop. This was in Markville, and I got out the car, parked a few meters a few meters before the branch, and I was going to see my manager to hand in my laptop, and got out of the car, and I had shaky knees. I was like, "What am I doing? There's no salary going to be coming in. How am I going to survive?" So it was a little bit confronting then as well, because yeah, just uncharted territory for me. So I called my dad again, and I was like, "Oh, look, I'm gonna do this. Should I do this?" And he just giggled. I was like, "Look, you'll be fine. Just do what you have to do, and if there's um." And he pretty much said, "I'll find a way," and he has high confidence in me, which was amazing as well. Just to hear that from him. So matched into my boss's office with a little bit more confidence and still slightly shaky knees, but got in, handed in my laptop, and she was really good in trying to ensure I'm doing the right thing, because she was like, "Are you sure, Victor?" She was speaking slowly, which even made me a little bit more nervous, because it's like, well, am I sure as to what I'm doing? And I wasn't sure, but I was like, look, I'll take the plunge, because I believe I can offer lots of value, and people just need to know and see that value, and then it should be all happy days from then. So, yep, concluded that, and then handed in the laptop, and pretty much um, got into, because I got in office space and all that, went to the office, and this was it. Now it's time to actually start running my own thing. So, in terms of running CFV services or just being a financial planner, self-employed, it's been a journey, ups and downs, as anyone can actually imagine. But one thing I would say is I'm very happy I did that. I probably don't want to do that again, because it has been I said ups and downs. But very happy I've done that, because to me that was a real life MBA for me. Really got to learn a lot as to marketing operations, giving better advice. When you're actually sitting down across a client and everything is on you, and they're really trusting you to help them get to a certain goal, retire, help the kids out, or whatever that goal is, there's a huge responsibility. So before I started my business, I used to sleep like a log. I'll just pass out at nighttime. First year, sleep wasn't that easy to come, but as I said, it's been a journey which I'm very happy I did. I do sleep a lot better these days, because you just become better in understanding and providing good value to clients, and then to team members as well, because end of the day, once you are working in a team, and if you are one of the people that's actually managing the team, lots of your team members are depending on you for a lot. So just the thought about disappointing them really makes me work a lot harder, and makes me be the best version of myself. So, in terms of the mission of CFV, this has been built over the last few years. We're always trying to improve. And we want to build long-term relationships with individuals, professionals, and small businesses. And the reason we want to do that is we want to help them live a more rewarding and fulfilling life. And we know we can do that through proper wealth management. So there's so many things that people do not know, and then they don't do because they don't know. And some people know, but they don't even have the time to do. So we know we can actually come in and actually help them do those things. And we'll talk about that in other podcasts. But once we take care of the wealth, we know that they can definitely have a more rewarding and fulfilling life and look at other aspects of their life or focus on other aspects of their lives. The vision, which is still something we're working on, but I'm clear as to what that should be for the company. It's not easily articulated, but I'm definitely clear on what that means. Giving fulfillment to my clients, giving fulfillment to my team members, giving fulfillment to my business associates, and helping communities around us. We want to make sure that anyone that works with us, or anyone we come in contact with, has a level of fulfillment, and we just get better at this every time. So that's definitely the long-term vision. And in terms of the steps to get there, we're working on that um, on a consistent basis. I think business is always self-improvement and doing things that can make you better in the long term. So in terms of why am I a financial planner? So going back to just mom and dad always ensuring that I'm doing the right thing, and ensuring I'm disciplined and I'm sequential in what I've done, has really impacted my life, because now what I do for people is bring some discipline, sequence, clarity, direction, and ultimately goal achievement to their finances. Okay. So I can help them do that in a lot better situation, because we deal with lots of people. And not only that, because of my personality as an extrovert, and just because of I like investment, I actually get joy from actually helping people with this, because sometimes I see them going from A to C, and well, I know from a wealth perspective you need to go A, B, C. That just brings me lots of joy, because I can see how it's helped them. And not everyone really has the time and the knowledge for all these, so that's where we really fit in. We can come in and provide that time, so I provide that discipline, sequence, clarity, direction, and ultimately help people get to whatever goal. So I've really enjoyed being a financial planner, hence why I decided to run my own business, because I potentially could have done anything that I wanted in the finance space, but I was like, financial planning is what I really want to do long term. In terms of just myself and the hobbies that I actually like doing now, so I'm an avid chess player. I'm probably not as good as I should be, given how often I play chess, but I jump on the 1 minute chess games, and I'll do a quick one minute game here and there. uh, so love to connect with anyone that actually plays chess. Let's have a game or two. And it's very easy these days because you can do it online, which is amazing. I love basketball, so I grew up playing basketball. Back when I was growing up, my dad actually set up my dad and my brother set up a hoop, um, just in our compound there. So there was just a small space we could shoot around, which was amazing as well. So I've grown up playing basketball. Now I'm just getting too old to jump around, so we do less of that and more of just general fitness. I also like traveling. So one of my goals is to travel as much as I can, especially while I can at this point in time. Long term as well is to do that with the family, and with the immediate family when I get one, and see as much of the world as I can see. I think one of the great things about traveling that people may not really fully and consciously um, appreciate is, by the time you're exposed to different cultures, different ways of doing things, you actually find better ways, and better outcomes, or just even a different way of thinking, which can really impact your life in a huge way. So it's been amazing, because recently I went for a conference in Vancouver, and I was able to speak to lots of other advisors in different parts of the world, and it was really insightful, just seeing what you're doing and seeing how to help clients, and seeing what I can do better as well. as you may know as well from all the studies that I've done, I do love learning. I do love education. I think that is a huge door to learn from people that I will not have access to. So I listen to lots of audiobooks, generally around motivation, finance, or fitness. Those are my go-to. So I love learning a lot. I'm yet to see a world where I stop, but maybe it has to stop one day in terms of formal learning. Informal just has to keep going. The other day I was speaking to a friend. I was like, "Oh, I was actually just reading this article before I slept." They're like, "Before you sleep?" I was like, "Yes, I do that pretty much almost every night." So and they're really surprised. So I think all these things that I do that helps me in terms of giving good advice, that many people may not even know about, and I overlook, is amazing, and I like it. So that's another hobby of mine in terms of the learning and education. I like anything that has to do with health. So I read lots of health books. I really try to work on my health and make sure I stay fit and take care of myself as well. And you know that all comes down to and ties into living my rewarding and fulfilling life. I know health is a huge piece there that I have to really focus on. So health, and then another piece that I'm really passionate about is just kids. So I feel the world would be an amazing place if kids really understood just the basics about ethics. If they got good education, sometimes it's really frustrating to me that some kids out there don't have food. Yes, I grew up in Nigeria, and there are so many people suffering around, but at the same time, you get to see lots of abundance elsewhere. So one of my passions is trying to help as much kids as I can, and that's just around that education, and hopefully the future just becomes better because if they get help and they grow up and are successful and they can help others as well, that would be an amazing thing, and we would all live in an amazing world. I know I can't change the world, but a step at a time, and I'll help when I can. So, in terms of CFV and I, what are we about? If you look at all those things, and what are we trying to do? Okay, we want people to have a rewarding and fulfilling life, and they need to do this, or one of or three of the things that they focus on, and they will have a rewarding and fulfilling life is wealth, health, and relationships. Okay, so if your wealth is good, where you're not suffering, you have enough for yourself, and you're not really struggling to pay the mortgage, struggling to go on holidays, life is a lot better. If your health is good, and having good health doesn't mean everything is perfect. It doesn't mean you have no illnesses or no aching joints. It just means that you're comfortable where you are, and you understand your situation, and you're doing all you can to improve that situation or maintain it. So good health is important as well. I think people don't focus as much as they should on their health. And the last part is relationships. So if your relationships is good with your family, if your relationship is good with your friends, if your relationship is good with people around, all of a sudden that's a huge part of your life that is doing well. So combine all those three things. If you can do those well, then life is just really amazing in that regard. So at TFV Services, we definitely want to help people with their health, wealth, relationships. However, we can't do everything. So we are your wealth specialist. We try to connect people with other health and relationship specialists if they need to. And that's what we're about. So this is just an intro about myself. I'm happy to give more information if you have more questions, and follow my new podcast, which is called Elevate Your Wealth with Vic.